It's £242,000. Say it with me. It's going once. It's going twice. It is sold. £242,000. That's the online bidder. Thank you very, very much, all of you. Thank you from Historics.
Good morning. Well, by now you've probably heard about this car that sold at the weekend. This is a 1976 Ford Escort Mark II RS 1800. Granted, it is a special car. This car, let's have a look. Originally registered Ford Motor Company Limited, 1976. Out of 109 cars built, there were 5 press cars owned by Ford. This is one of the 5 press cars. Then we've got some history there, and it's been restored and whatnot. It's more than a car. It's a symbol of an era where skill and engineering... Oh, shut up. It sold for £220,000 on the hammer. £276,848 with the fees considered. Now, this was against an estimate, I think, of up to 180. So it went way above its upper estimate. This is a crazy amount of money for this car. And I want to talk about it in the context with the rest of the auction, because I just think this is ludicrous. I feel like this car has been bought by someone that doesn't understand the generational nature of classic cars, i.e., I am in my late 30s, very late 30s, and I have absolutely no interest in a Mark II Ford Escort. I'd be more interested in a Mark IV or 5 Escort GTI or an Escort RS Cosworth. There's no way I'd be spending big money on a Mark II because, being in my late 30s, very late 30s, I have no connection at all to a Mark II Ford Escort. So what is the person that has bought this car going to do when the next generation of buyers aren't really particularly interested in this car at that money? So let me know what you think of that absolutely insane amount of money that was dropped on this Ford Escort. Now, for this one, I'm not doing a full review of the auction because we're off to Swansea today to deliver a Volvo, and I'm coming back in a rented Vauxhall Corsa. So that'll be an interesting video for later in the week. I just want to highlight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 20 lots from the auction that I think show this sale price to be quite ludicrous. So let's go in order of what we've got. Right, this is lot number 104. This is a 1948 Chevrolet Fleetmaster, okay? Now, I'm not going to pretend to know loads about this car, but I'll tell you what I do know. It's absolutely beautiful. How much more impressive is this as a car than the Ford Escort that we just looked at? This is absolutely stunning. Great car to use for anything. Oh, look, it's got 33,000 miles on it. 3,300 miles. Just a stunning looking thing. And you look at the price, £11,154, and that's with the premium. That just looks to me to be no money for a superb and very usable classic car that you can take anywhere and people will be impressed. So I think when you compare that to more than £250,000 for a Ford Escort with a roof, you could have had that instead and bought a house with the spare money. Next one, similar sort of thing. Right, this is a 1992 Venturi MVS 260 Coupe, super rare car. I love these Venturis. They made, what, 200? You never ever see them around. It's like a Ferrari F355 combined with a Renault Alpine. I just think this is a fantastic looking car. Again, any Cars and Coffee that you take this to, it is going to steal the show. And it is £30,000. Again, I just feel like this makes that Ford Escort price seem absolutely ridiculous. Apologies for the loading time on the pictures. That's how good my Starlink internet really is. I love this car. Look at the colour. Got lots of wood on it. It's just super cool. Wooden wheel. Beautiful purple. I just think that's a great car at just £30,000. And don't forget, these include the fees. So I think that was an absolute bargain. Then we've got this Jaguar E-Type Series 2 that sells for only £19,000, which I think looks pretty cheap. Oh, it's a great colour, this. I saw one of these going down the road just the other day on the way to Classic Nostalgia. And I just thought, what a fantastic colour for that car. Wood wheel, wood knob. We love a wood knob. That looks like a usable E-Type. And yeah, again, like, I can't see the £100,000 difference between this and a really expensive one. I'd rather have an E-Type that I can actually use, especially with a ragtop roof. So I thought that looked a good buy at £19,000. Next up, we've got this XJS V12 convertible, which I actually think is an even better buy because look at it. That is a fantastic looking car. And the fact that I am, salivating over a 1992 on an L, the fact that I'm salivating over a 1992 XJS and I'm not interested in an E-Type sort of says it all about what I've just said about the generational nature of classic cars. I do remember the XJS. I had an XJS, and you probably did as well, from a Shell garage. Do you remember when Shell were giving away cars with certain amounts of petrol? Back in the day, probably 30 years ago, and I had an XJS, and that's a great colour with a great interior and a V12 engine. Absolutely beautiful. £14,000 with the fees. That's the same price as a Dacia Spring. You could have an EV SUV, or at the opposite end of the scale, a V12 Jaguar convertible. I know which I'd rather have. Then you've got this one, right? I think this is a ridiculous price, right? 1964 Volkswagen Type 2 sells with fees for £14,000. That's insanely cheap. These were crazy money. I mean, the 23 window ones, granted, this isn't a 23 window, but these were approaching £100,000. And I think for this to change hands for just £14,000, I have to be honest, if I was in a position, I'd have put a bid on this. Do you know how much it would cost to build this van, to restore one to this quality? Well, it would cost you a lot more than £14,000. I think that's an insane price, and it just says that the market is changing. Moving on again, we have this Jaguar XK150 fixed head coupe, and if I was to make a prediction before the auction, I would have said unsold, and even with interesting provenance and matching numbers, it's unsold. So again, look at the generational thing that's going on in classic cars, and then go back to the price of that ridiculous Ford Escort, and you will see that I feel like this person's going to lose their pants when they sell this car, if indeed they ever sell it. Right, going back to where we were. Oh, no, I'm teasing you there. Right, next one. Peugeot 504 GL sells with fees for £18,304. Again, when did you see one of these? What a lovely car to use for a summer cars and coffee local classic car show event. Very rare, very cool, and again, just looks like a real good price at £18,000 if you want something special to cruise around in. Then we've got another E-Type. Now this one was very special, delivered new to HRH Prince Michael of Kent, but even that couldn't get them a buyer. Estimate 130 to 150. It's another E-Type that goes unsold. Moving on, this time we got another Mark II Escort, right? This one is Ford Cosworth powered. Okay, so it's not the same thing. It doesn't have the provenance of this one. But essentially, if you're looking for a Mark II Escort, why would you not go for the wide-body Cosworth-powered one? And yet it didn't sell with an estimate of £26,000 to £32,000. Very bizarre that you've got one making £250,000 and one, yeah, fair enough, it's not. But it is the same thing, but it's not the same thing, and it does not find a buyer. Next up, we have this Aston Martin DB4 Series 1 GT specification. This was effectively what we'd call the poster car of the auction, the big hitter. Estimate £520,000 to £570,000. No buyers on the day. As beautiful as that is, these blue chip cars are struggling to find buyers at the moment, and we're seeing this in other auctions as well. I'm torn at the minute between saying the market's doing well and the market is stalling because prices seem to be all over the place, but the big hitting stuff does not seem to be selling. Hoovie's Garage did a video just the other day looking at an auction that took place in Switzerland, and it was the same thing. Most stuff went through unsold, and that was the heavy hitting cars, the expensive stuff. That is not changing hands. Then you've got this 1924 Bentley 3-litre Tourer by Freestone and Webb. I mean, this is bread and butter in the wealthy, well-heeled area of classic cars, and yet even with that wonderful photo that they've gone out specially to take with us, I don't know, maybe they AI generated it these days. I'd love it if they actually did manage to take that photo properly with the mythical thing of the Bentley racing against a steam train, even though it never happened, and all these Bentleys are sold on the lore of the Bentley boys and World War One and what was going on before that. Most of it was balls, but not enough balls to actually find a buyer. £140,000 to £160,000 goes unsold. Moving through, Lamborghini Diablo VT 8,500 miles, £30,000 spent in recent years, does find a buyer. It's a 1990s supercar, where a 1920s supercar doesn't sell for more than twice the money the 1990s supercar does. Again, look at the cyclical nature, the generational nature of classic car values. The 90s and early 2000 cars are where you want to be putting your money right now. Certainly wouldn't want to have it in any banks in the UK at the moment anyway. 1967 Ford Mustang Bullet. I'm surprised this didn't sell, actually. Estimate 55 to 65, but no sale. It's an authentic Bullet tribute in stunning condition. Maybe that's just at the wrong auction. Maybe that needs to go back to the USA. But yeah, unsold on that one. Next up, we got this Mercedes-Benz 280 SL Pagoda. Again, the absolute, cornerstone of the classic car market. A 280 SL Pagoda in good condition, should be worth six figures. Estimate is 65 to 75, which is very reasonable for a 280 SL, and yet no buyers. But the 1992 Lamborghini Diablo did very well. Again, look, it's all generational. 1968 Jaguar E-Type Series 1.5 Roadster. 85 to 97,000 pounds on the estimate. They cannot find a buyer for it on the day. Stick it in the skip at the back with all the other E-Types that were unsold. Another Pagoda here. This is also a 280 SL Pagoda. Rare olive green, beautiful colour. ASI Gold certified. As I said, these cars were six figures, and yet this one goes out the door with fees for £58,000. Someone scored a bargain there. Ford Econoline pickup truck. Again, this is in line with my theory that, you just want a fun car to take to your Cars and Coffee to show off. And this is a cheap one at that. The lower estimate, only £11,000, and yet it doesn't sell. Granted, you can't use it for much, but if you've got a business, this could be the perfect car to, park outside your premises and just attract some people in. But maybe what it is all the businesses in the UK are failing. There's no footfall anyway. The high street has collapsed and nobody's buying commercial vehicles because the economy is stagnating, which is not true if you follow the mainstream media view. But if you follow the news that says, actually, commercial vehicle sales are stalling, electric vehicle sales are up, and the only reason electric vehicle sales are up is because businesses are buying because they have to buy, because otherwise they make a profit and then they have to pay tax on it. Basically, car sales and commercial vehicle sales are down across the board because the economy is on its knees. That was a rant that we didn't expect in this video. Let's move on. 2006 Range Rover 35th anniversary, 4.2 litre supercharged. Number 10 of 35. Now, I thought this car was going to sell for more money because that is a dream specification. L322 Range Rover. It is in a superb colour. It's a supercharged V8, and yet it only makes £10,000, and that's with the fees. We've seen these cars changing hands for more than that. However, it's got some miles on it. It's done 150,000 miles. So maybe you can flip that on its head and say, oh my gosh, isn't it unbelievable that a 150,000 mile Range Rover changed hands for 10 grand? So let me know whether you thought that was a bargain or was that a ridiculous buy, like the Ford Escort. Speaking of Escorts, we've got this one. This is a 1996 5.6 NREG, beautiful Ford Escort Cosworth. Now, again, we've seen these change hands for £200,000. We saw it at the NEC car show just a few short months ago. This one's only done 69,000 miles, I think. Is that what it says? 43,000 miles. I apologise. 3 owners, 43,000 miles. Blue chip Escort Cosworth. Estimate is 69 to 82. It does not sell. Make this make sense in the context of the ridiculous price that was paid for this Ford Escort. Why did the Cosworth not sell? You would have thought that someone could have snagged that on the day. They could have put a cheeky bid in. It would have gone to the seller. You could have bought that for £69,000. And yet nobody did. So what is going on with car values in that's happening? Last one then is this one. Land Rover Defender 110 V8 station wagon. It's a V8. It's a station wagon. It's super cool. Yes, it's a little bit rough. But I thought this would make a lot of money because the V8s are always really desirable and it only makes £10,000. Let me know what you think about the values on this auction. As I say, there was a fair few cars in the auction, but those are the ones that I think are worth mentioning. Let me know if you want to see a full rundown, although I don't think I'll do one because, as I said, we're off to Swansea today and coming back in a Vauxhall Corsa, and that's stressful enough. So there you go. That is my rundown. What do you think of the price of this Ford Escort? Has somebody lost their mind, and are they about to lose £150,000? Thank you very much for watching. Lots of fun and serious videos coming up later in the week.